Pat is a 27-year-old female recently diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in both her wrists and ankles. She is the manager of a local gym and a personal trainer and had been training for her second triathlon until she began experiencing symptoms a month ago. You see her in an outpatient rehab.
Hi Pat, my name's Megan. I'm going to be your OT.
Hi.
Do you want to have a seat for me?
Yeah.
All right, great. And then we can get started. So I see here that you're having some joint pain and you look a little bit uncomfortable right now. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's been going on?
Basically, I'm a personal trainer and I can't train my clients anymore because I can't move my wrists and ankles. And I'm also in the midst of training for a triathlon and I feel like, thank you. And I feel like I can't do that anymore either because I can't run because of my ankles.
Yeah, I definitely understand that this is affecting all your occupations that you are really invested in, especially your work, but I can see where you're coming from and I see why you're so upset.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your symptoms? How long have you been feeling these? When did they start? Yeah, well, I had a really similar experience when I was in college. I was a volleyball player and I broke my wrist in the very beginning of our training and I had to get surgery and miss the whole season. So that was really hard because I had to stop doing what I like to do. But I found interests outside of volleyball that I was interested in, which helped me make my way through it. Do you have any interests outside of running and work that you like to do?
Well, first off, I'm really sorry that happened to you. That seems like really hard also. I like to go to the movies and I guess I like to go out to dinner with my friends.
That's great. That's a great way to deal with stress and things that are going on outside of exercise. So do you happen to know anything about the condition that you're experiencing?
Well, the only thing I really know is it's a joint condition, but that's it.
Okay, well, I can tell you a little bit more. So you have rheumatoid arthritis, which is also called RA for short. It's an autoimmune disorder and it's systemic, which means it'll go through different parts of your body, which is kind of why it started in your wrists and now it's moving more to your ankles as well. And it's also bilateral.
What does that mean?
It means that it's on both sides, so it's not just your right wrist or your right ankle, it's both of them. So that'll explain why both sides of your body are hurting. And this is very common in wrists and ankles, so you don't have to worry that something else is wrong. And the stages, I think you're still in just an early stage. So the first one is acute, which just kind of limits your motion. There's some pain, which you've clearly been experiencing,
Yeah.
and tenderness with the increased activity, which is what is happening when you're running and putting people through things at work.
Is there anything that I can do to help relieve this pain?
Yeah, so you can go through a morning routine specific for this condition to help kind of loosen the joints, and also maybe just going on walks instead of runs, just lessening the load on the joints.
Okay. Can we work on that?
Of course. So I want to collaborate with you and make sure that we come up with a plan together that'll work for your schedule specifically.
That sounds like a great idea.
Awesome.
I love that.
So starting with your morning routine, since stiffness is more prevalent in the morning, right when you wake up, I want to do some stretches.
Okay,
Just to kind of wake up your joints. And then, do you like going for walks? Yeah, I get that they can be kind of boring. Do you have maybe a dog or some kind of pet?
Oh yeah, I have a dog named Riley.
Oh, perfect. Does he like walks?
Yeah, he does.
Awesome. So maybe he can come with you, kind of keep you company, and maybe you guys can find like a new even little trail that you can go on to wake up your joints in the morning.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Great.
I'm just really still upset that I can't train my clients anymore because of this condition, and I don't know what to do because it's something I really love and enjoy.
Yeah, I totally get that. It makes complete sense, especially since it's your job. You can still go to the gym though, right? And be involved in other ways. So maybe instructing your clients more instead of doing the activities with them, or even taking on a more manager type role and making plans for people and things like that, so you're not putting too much stress on those joints.
Okay, yeah, because I really do love to be at the gym, so I really think that would be helpful for me mentally as well.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially because the gym, it has just a different atmosphere, so I think
Yeah.
that'd be good for your physical health and your mental health. So what would you say one of your long-term goals is, like your main one?
Well, I guess it would be to be able to participate in the triathlon next year because I know this year there's no way I'm going to be able to in my condition.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great goal for the long term, of course, since we're not there yet. But we're going to work on a bunch of short term goals in the meantime, such as your morning routine and the walks to get you back to that point so you'll be able to achieve that goal in the next year.
Okay. What should I do until the next time I see you?
Okay, so we're gonna have some short-term goals for the next week. So I want you to do your morning routine, so the stretches and your morning walks with Riley 5 times in the next week until you see me when we have our next meeting next Tuesday. And then I also want you to try to get to the gym just to be in that atmosphere 3 times until you see me next.
Okay. Can you write this all down for me so I can remember?
Of course,
Thank
I'll
you.
have this written down for you. And then I also have a pamphlet for you which discusses rheumatoid arthritis in case you forget anything that we went over
Thank you.
earlier about the symptoms and kind of what you've been feeling lately.
Thanks.
Throughout this scenario, we witnessed 2 interpersonal events. The first interpersonal event was the expression of strong emotion as Pat walked in and was visibly upset. The therapist responded using the empathizing mode. The second interpersonal event was when Pat responded to the therapist's questions with reluctance. The therapist used intimate self-disclosure in order to get the client to open up. The therapist also used the 2 modes of instructing and collaborating when creating the intervention plan with Pat.